What's up, gang? Welcome to After Dark. This is kind of my little, I guess, roadcast instead of a podcast where I just kind of talk about whatever the hell I want to. Because, to be honest with you, I think I have ADD. I've never been to the doctor, never been, diagnosed, and definitely don't want to be treated because I kind of like it. I'm not convinced that it's actually a disorder. But there's a lot of things that go on besides gaming-related stuff that really grabs my attention. And I get that a lot of people may not be interested in it. That's cool. I'm still going to title the videos whatever it is. So, if it looks like it's not a gaming-related video, chances are it's probably not. But this channel is my way of just getting to talk about whatever it is that I want to share with people. And there are a lot of good stories out there, a lot of scary stories that I would like to share with people. A lot of interesting things. And so this is where we're going to do it, After Dark. So tonight I want to start off with one of my favorite subjects, and that is conspiracies. And a lot of people like to hear conspiracy theories, and I like to hear them. A lot of them I don't believe in and don't buy in, I'll grant you that. But some of them are still interesting. And I think it's always important to step outside the box and just take a look and make sure you're not missing anything. And a lot of people tend to totally dismiss conspiracies whenever they hear the word, like it's become a taboo word and associated with all sorts of negative thoughts. And you hear somebody is a conspiracy theorist and you automatically think they're a nut job, But the fact of the matter is that conspiracies do happen. And so there are going to be some roadcasts that we have where we're going to be talking about conspiracies. And sometimes we'll be talking about conspiracy theories. But I think in order to appreciate conspiracy theories, you first need to appreciate conspiracies and understand conspiracy fact. So I want to begin with not a conspiracy theory, but a conspiracy fact. We're going to be talking about a conspiracy that lasted for over 40 years. In 1932, doctors were looking for black men with syphilis. They were offered free medical care. And in 1932, there were a lot of black men who had never even stepped foot in a doctor's office or even talked to a doctor. So to have an ailment and be offered free medical care thinking you're going to be getting help, of course, to these people was probably a blessing in their mind. The men were told they had bad blood. Now, if you go without treatment and you have syphilis, you can have tumors, heart disease, paralysis, blindness. It can cause you to go insane, and it can eventually lead to your death. These men were never told that they had syphilis. Whenever they first started going to the doctors actually prescribed them small doses of medicine. It was so small, though, that they knew that it wouldn't actually help these people get better. The goal was not to treat the patient. The goal of this experiment was to watch the patient die, to be honest with you. Eventually, they stopped even giving any sort of medicine and they totally switched it out to aspirin. So the people weren't receiving any treatment whatsoever. They would even perform very painful procedures on these people like spinal taps. And again, they would get them to come into the doctor's office by proclaiming, hey, last chance for a special free treatment. Not only were they not given the treatment, they were kept from the treatment. The goal was to see during autopsies if a black host of syphilis would be any different than a white host. Yes, this was remember back in the 30s whenever this started. One of the doctors was actually quoted as saying, "We have no further interest in these patients until they die." Now, you may be asking yourself, who would do such a thing? Would it be the Nazis? Would it be some lunatic mad scientist? Was it a university? This was the U.S. Public Health Service, the group in charge of the public health. And it wasn't some underground faction of the Public Health Service. It even went as far up as the U.S. Surgeon General, who actually sent certificates to volunteers who kept on going past 25 years. Here's the other sickening part. During World War II, 250 of the men signed up for the draft to go fight for their country in a war where people were dying left and right. They were ordered to go get treatment from the army. The public health services actually stepped in and stopped these individuals from receiving treatment. Again, their goal was to watch them die. These people were going to doctors believing they were receiving help for over 40 years. And this happened after the World Health Organization had signed a declaration making it a necessity to inform human subjects that they were being experimented on. When it was all said and done, 28 people had died of syphilis. 100 of those people had died from related complications. 40 of their wives were infected, and 19 of their children were born with it. And who knows who the hell else caught it, who they didn't know about, and how much further it spread because they allowed it to happen. For 40 years this went on, and doctors, nurses, government officials, universities, they all knew about it. And nobody said a word. Nobody heard about it until one day a reporter got the story and let go of the headlines. It's a conspiracy that, if there wasn't actual admittance to the fact, it might be something you dismiss as a myth or a fairy tale. But it's no conspiracy theory. The Tuskegee experiment is a conspiracy fact. This is just one of the conspiracies we know about. If you want to keep on tumbling down this rabbit hole, let me know and we'll talk about more conspiracies in the future. That does it for me, The Red Dragon. Thanks for watching, and question everything.